Hello and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News Channel. We're going to look at 8 lower cap, basically crypto NFT slash metaverse games that you could possibly invest in, maybe even get into. Remember, we're just looking at these by market cap and potential. If you want to invest in a game, I highly encourage you to actually play it and make a decision that way, because you want a game that's actually fun and playable. That is probably the biggest determining factor. You will have to do your research that way. If you're a gamer anyways, that should be fun. But if you're not, just bear with it, do your due diligence, and then invest afterwards. So the first game we're going to talk about is Splinterlands. Now, Splinterlands is actually number 1 on DApp Radar for number of users, but it does not actually have a high market cap. The balance and the volume are under 1 million, so it's basically a game with a lot of users, which means it's probably fairly fun, but the balance and the volume means it doesn't have a lot of economy wrapped around it yet. If they decide to wrap the economy around it more, it could definitely grow into something huge. And if you already have the user base in a fun game, that should be very easy to do. Now, it's on Hive and on Wax as well. So there's actually the cost per transaction should actually be fairly low. Splinter Shards itself is like an Ethereum coin, it looks like, from MetaMask, but the actual game does not run on Ethereum, so it should not be that expensive for transactions in the game. The market cap's only 118 million. Now, the fully diluted market cap's 1.3 billion because less than 10% of the coins are out. But the thing is, even at 1.3 billion, if the market goes past $10 trillion, this could easily go 10, 20x. So, and plus, you already have the player base, so wrapping an economy around an already blossoming player base should be much less difficult than a game that's starting from scratch without the player base. So Splinter Shards is one that you could look at. Low market cap, not that low, but fully diluted market cap, but still a lot of potential, but it already has the players. It's number 441, so it's outside the top 200. That means it does have potential, and it already has a solid base of players. So that's Splinter Shards with a market cap of $118 million. Now, there's Binary X. And Binary X does not have as many users as Splinterlands at only 19.64K users, but there's a lot more balance and a lot more volume. So what this means is it doesn't have as many users, but the users are actually involved more in the economy. It is on Binance Smart Chain, so transactions will not cost a lot of money. So that's actually good. As long as these aren't on Ethereum itself. So this is on BSC. The market cap is 334 million, so under a billion. The fully diluted market cap is 3.4 billion because only about 10% of the coins are out. But there's always a vesting schedule. You'll have to look at that. There's a decent amount of volume in the game as well at 70 million, but it's also outside the top 200 at 267. Remember, all these coins will eventually get released, but they will actually get released over the course of a couple of years. So it won't reach that fully diluted market cap, even if the game doesn't grow for quite a while. So there is still a lot of time to make money on this. So 335 million market cap, Binary X. It's already got a decent user base, not as big as Splinterlands, but the economy is already more wrapped around it. Another thing you want to look at in terms of NFT metaverse games. Next is kind of like a maybe game, and it's Mobox. And I say maybe because the fully diluted market cap of Mobox is already pretty big at 6 billion. But the actual market cap right now is only 514 million because there's 1 billion Mobox out there. However, there's only 79 million Mobox out in the wild right now. The rest are actually held in reserve. This is also on BSC, so the transactions don't cost that much. Mobox also has 18.87K users, and it has a balance of 115 million and volume of 398K. I think this is less attractive to me than Binary X or Splinterlands, but there is still attraction in this because it's only $500 million, and we know that in a bull market, any successful game can go up a lot. It's number 243, so it is outside the top 200. And most of these games, like I said, have a vesting schedule, so we probably won't get close to that supply, the 1 billion supply, for several years. So Mobox is definitely one you actually want to look at. So the next one we want to look at is Polkacity. Now, before you think Polkacity is on Polkadot, it's actually multi-chain on Ethereum and Binance right now. But the fact that it's on Binance means transactions don't have to cost a lot of money. I do think they will eventually build the metaverse on Polkadot once it's actually available, if they get one of the parachains, I guess. You can own virtual taxis, gas stations, and services. Now, Polkacity has a market cap of only 15 million, so the potential is still there. Yes, only 8 million of the 250 million supply is out, but the fully diluted market cap is only $451 million. So even if all the coins were released, it's still under $1 billion. It's outside the top 2,000, or it's outside the top 2,000 in terms of market cap right now. So there's massive potential for this. It'll take a couple of years for all the coins to get released. We actually do know the vesting schedule for this. They'll release 25 million more coins every 3 months. So the supply will actually go up pretty fast with this. But even at full supply, it's under $1 billion. And it definitely has massive potential. It looks pretty good. And if you want a job, they are actually hiring. If you want to look at the tokenomics, the team gets 10 million, the token sells 10 million, the Uniswap liquidity is 25 million, the platform is 200 million, and that's vested at 25 million, released every 3 months, and the marketing is 5 million. So it's not too bad. The team only gets 10 million out of the 250 million coins. So the team obviously has a very good incentive to actually get Polkacity to be successful. And the game isn't actually released yet, so the build up to the release might actually be pretty cool. And realistically, I think they're supposed to release in Q4 2021, which is in the next month. So there actually might be kind of like a pump of the price in Polkacity. But regardless if there is or not, it has a lot of potential. It looks really cool. And it's kind of new, so there's no active users yet, obviously. So it's definitely more of a risk than the other 3 I've mentioned so far. But it also has more reward attached to it because of the low market cap so far. So the next one I want to talk about is Zoo Crypto World. Zoo Crypto World, it also has a decent user base, but it's also very low market cap at 23 million. Now, more than 10% of the coins are actually out in the wild, so the fully diluted market cap is only $186 million. So that's actually very, very low. Zoo Crypto World has 12.5K users active. That's better than not having any, like a starter project, obviously. And it has $1.94 million balance and 575K volume. So not a huge amount of economic activity, but there is some economic activity wrapped around the game. So it might still be developing, but they do have an active user base and people are transacting money in Zoo Crypto World. It's also on BSC. Yeah, and so that means Binance Smart Chain, not that many fees. So Zoo Crypto World, definitely something you want to look at as well. The next one I want to look at is CryptoBay. CryptoBay. It also has, a user base already. And, most of these games, even if they have a user base, they're still under development because, the metaverse stuff is actually kind of new. This is more of a piracy type of thing. This one's kind of shady because we don't really know the market cap of this. We don't know what the circulating supply of this is, but the max supply is only 900 million and the fully diluted market cap is only 65 million. Now, this particular coin is going to be very, very volatile. So risk factor, very high, but reward factor also very, very high. The volume is only $20,000 per day. So any buy of a couple $1,000s could really tank it or could really tank the coin or it could really soar the coin. But the market cap is low enough already that there's not that much risk going into it. If you spend a couple $100 on it, you can get, maybe a couple thousand coins, and you only spend a couple $100. Now those couple thousand coins, a max supply of 900 million. If it goes to $1, you've more than 10x your money already, and the market fully diluted market cap is only $900 million with more room to actually grow. So the low market cap, the low fully diluted market cap makes this very, very interesting, but we don't really know what the circulating supply is, and the volume is very low, so it's high risk, very, very high reward at CryptoBay. Then we want to look at CryptoBlades. Now, CryptoBlades is really, really shady because CryptoBlades, even though it's a low market cap, the market cap's 14 million, the fully diluted market cap's only 16 million, so almost all the coins are out. But this game did actually pump up massively earlier this year. And then I heard that the developers kind of abandoned the game, although there's still some people trading because there's still a volume of $5 million a day. So there's still some people trading. And I think the game is actually there. I'm not 100% sure. So you definitely want to check that and play around in the game a little bit to see if there's anyone still active in the game. because I did hear rumors that the developers, at least most of them, abandoned the game and sold all their coins. And obviously, if that happens, you don't really want to buy the coin. However, since the market cap is so low, like some people could attempt to pump it back up. So even if Crypto Blades, is abandoned, you could still see a couple of pump and dumps for Crypto Blades. But this one's like really, really shady. Usually on something like this, I would just say like, yeah, I'm going to pass. But the market cap is really, really low. So a resurrection, a resurgence and resurrection could actually make you very, very rich. So even at their height, Crypto Blades, the market cap was like 140 million. And that's very, very small compared to other crypto games out there. And this had a lot of users back in the day, like back in July, June. That's not too long ago, by the way. And if someone decides to resurrect it, maybe pump it again, you could be in for some serious profit. But it's really, really, really shady because it does kind of seem that the developers have actually abandoned it. Hence this giant drop in price down. This is Crypto Blades. And the last one I want to talk about is Rev. Now, Rev Racing. It's on Polygon, so the transaction fees aren't that bad. Not like Ethereum bad anyways. It has 7.75k users, but it has $978 million in balance and 1.16k of volume. So like daily volume is not that high. They have some good balance and they have over 7,000 users, which once again is better than like starting anew and not having any users. So it's a little bit established, but not really. And the market cap is $89 million. And the fully diluted market cap is $900 million, still under $1 billion. So it's rank 499, almost outside the top 500. So the potential is definitely there. Now, once again, like a lot of these games are still developing despite being out. And don't look at the daily charts. Always look at the monthly and like yearly charts and the all charts for these. And I would just look at the all charts for these because a lot of these games are fairly new. So they're going to have a lot of ups and downs. But if the NFT and metaverse thing is as big as I think a lot of these games are going to have their chance. Now, what I would do is make like a portfolio, like an index of metaverse coins, maybe like balance out among the 8 or among the 5 that you like, or, and add some other ones in there. And I think you will do fairly well because you can't, like any one of these games can tank at any time, but the likelihood of like 10 or 15 tanking at the same time is fairly low, and you'll have chances to cash out for big profit before that actually happens. So those are the 8 that I'm going to mention today. There's a lot more out there, but those are just kind of 8 where I see like they either have a lot of potential or they already have a user base and some volume and stuff, and they still have a lot of room for growth. I didn't include things like Axie because, it's already really big. These are not that big in terms of market cap right now, but I do think they can be very big in terms of market cap because they have high potential. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe and hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.